With its beaches, resorts, and desert sports, Ras Al Khaimah, one of the 7 emirates of the UAE, is growing in popularity as a tourist getaway, especially for sun-seeking Europeans. But while the emirate is relatively new to the tourist map, it established itself long ago as the UAE's industrial heartland. A drive to attract FDI began in earnest nearly a decade ago, and since then the goal has been to maintain the emirate's production prowess while at the same time continually improving its tourism offer. We're here to find out how that can best be achieved and to discover what's the next stage of development for this sun-drenched industrial center. Join me as we go on location. Ras Al Khaimah, or RAK, is the northernmost emirate in the UAE and one of the smallest, covering 1,700 square kilometers. Sharing a mountainous border with Oman and across the Strait of Hormuz from Iran, RAK sits just an hour's drive from Dubai. Its surprisingly varied topography is a combination of mountains, coastline, mangrove swamps, and desert. Once a sleepy trading port supported by industries like fishing, shipbuilding, and pearl harvesting, the emirate built up a manufacturing sector in the 1970s and 80s while ramping up its rock quarrying activity. Lacking in oil but blessed by raw materials such as limestone and quartz, Ras Al Khaimah is a major exporter of cement, ceramics, and aggregate, and supplied a large volume of the construction materials that built neighboring Dubai. The ruler of Ras Al Khaimah, Sheikh Saud bin Saqr al-Qasimi, has laid out a vision for the emirate that is based on diversifying the economy, promoting industrialization, and increasing tourism. The government is also investing heavily in education. The goal is for RAK to become a magnet for both businesses and holidaymakers. This, the ruler says, can be achieved by leveraging RAK's location in the heart of one of the world's top growth markets.
For us in Ras Al Khaimah, we have made a choice, and I think and the choice is proven by what we have succeeded so far. So we have the advantage, of course, we are part of one country that has been successful in creating a federation. And at the same time, we live actually in a center for 2 billion people. These people is the center of energy in the world. This center is a growing population from Africa to Central Asia, to Middle East, to India, to Afghanistan. All these countries need goods and services. The Emirates is a central hub for that. And today you see it in the number of tourists, you see the industry that we are attracting.
Ranked by FDI magazine as a top 10 city in the Middle East for FDI potential, and following only the Goliaths of Dubai and Abu Dhabi in the UAE in the rankings, Ras Al Khaimah is asserting itself as a contender for investment in the Gulf region. Trade volumes as well as FDI flows are on the rise.
Especially after the financial crisis, which has affected almost everyone, Ras Al Khaimah has managed it, I think, very well. I mean, if we talk in numbers, we're almost have increased the total foreign trade from $7 billion to $9 billion. So with the vision of Sheikh Saud, we've improved in almost all the areas here in Ras Al Khaimah. I mean, if you've been to Ras Al Khaimah like a few years back, you will see the difference between Ras Al Khaimah 3-4 years ago and now where it is. And we're not comparing ourselves with Dubai or Abu Dhabi or anyone. We want to build our own Ras Al Khaimah by ourselves.
Tourist traffic is also rising in Ras Al Khaimah thanks to a promotional push and with help from some of its natural assets. Although it is hoped that many more visitors will soon discover some of the surprises the emirate has in store.
So we expect that the coming years is that we grow the number of tourists who come here, enjoying the competitive location, the beautiful landscape that we have between the beach, the sand dune, and the mountains, and the great history that we have, and the great hospitality of our people, and the lovely sunshine, security, health. All of these are advantages I think we should build on.
According to the RAK Tourism Authority, since 2011, the number of guest nights spent by visitors in Ras Al Khaimah has nearly doubled. The hotel occupancy rate is around 70%, and major international hotel chains have arrived to help fulfill demand. The spectacular Waldorf Astoria Hotel, which opened in 2013, takes the luxury offering to new heights.
The key areas that tourists are coming to Ras Al Khaimah for are clearly the beaches. You know, we've got 65 kilometers of beaches. We've got pretty much good weather all year round. We've also got mountains and fantastic topography, and those features are unique. None of the other Emirates have them. The other area that is of real interest to tourists is heritage. Ras Al Khaimah has got historical sites which cover every major period of the last 5,000 years. So I think the way I would characterize Ras Al Khaimah is the essence of Arabia. This is what Arabia is really all about in terms of the fun and enjoyment of the beaches, of the nature, but also the great history that we've got.
Foreign companies in Ras Al Khaimah, like elsewhere in the UAE, set up almost exclusively inside free trade zones, where 100% foreign ownership is allowed. It has inside its territories more than 11,500 companies from more than 100 countries. RAK Free Trade Zone is a flagship zone for the Emirate. Let's take a closer look. Peter Fort is a former banker who became CEO of RAK Free Trade Zone in April 2013. He's been struck by the fast pace of growth and the demand that is quickly outpacing supply.
Well, look, it's been tremendous. I think if anything, it's surprised all of us, and so we have a problem a little bit in terms of most of our facilities are full or almost full. So it's a good problem to have, but at the same time, we need to build as fast as possible to meet the needs of our clients. So just to give you an example, at the Free Zone, we're currently over 7,500 clients. Across all of Ras Al Khaimah, across all the free zones, that number is 11,500. So it's a very large number of clients. And in RAK Free Zone alone, we've added 3,000 new clients last year.
Offering the same incentives as the UAE's other free zones, namely 100% tax exemption, full foreign ownership, and no restrictions on capital and profit repatriation, RAK's free zones also boast lower prices than those of Dubai, 100 kilometers down the highway. Geared for exports from its zones, Ras Al Khaimah has 5 ports, the largest of which is Saqr port. The new RAK Maritime City project, covering 8 million square meters of strategically located coastland, offers a dedicated harbor, access to deep water berths in the future, and plots for industrial and commercial enterprises adjacent to Saqr port. Water and power company Utico was fortunate to catch Ras Al Khaimah at the beginning of its upcurve, establishing itself in the Emirate in 2005 to serve the growing industrial base.
Ras Al Khaimah, if you can look at it in the UAE perspective, it is a place where there is a lot of heavy industries, and it's grown through heavy industries, not through logistics or through marketing. It's the real industries in Ras Al Khaimah. And for real industries growth and all, you need water and power. And I feel that Ras Al Khaimah's growth has been constant, you can say, but it went into a sort of a quantum leap when Sheikh Saud came.
But it's not all just heavy industry. A recent, if somewhat atypical investor is Ital Food, a maker of fine Italian cheeses that set up its factory in RAK Free Trade Zone in 2010. The decision to bring the family-run business and the family to Ras Al Khaimah was a lifestyle as well as business choice.
So in our case, due to also to the size of the business, so we are a small company, Ras Al Khaimah is the perfect location because it's not so far from Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but it's still quiet and is also the costs are really reduced in comparison of the cost of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. For us, it's not only a choice for business, but it's a choice of lifestyle. Since we feel very comfortable in these Emirates, it's for family and for our lifestyle. So we choose to move from Italy also for this reason.
The family may feel they discovered a hidden gem in their quiet new home. But change is coming rapidly to Ras Al Khaimah, and it's receiving more and more attention from the outside world.
Ras Al Khaimah has gone from a relatively unknown emirate, let's say a decade or so ago, to really being a business hub of choice for many clients. And again, it really goes back down to the combination of the same world-class facilities, easy access to logistical infrastructure, including 1 hour drive from Dubai, at a substantially lower cost. And so that's been something that has really set Ras Al Khaimah apart from many of the other Emirates and has attracted a large number of clients.
We feel that the momentum that we've gained over the past few years is really, really strong. And the other thing about Ras Al Khaimah is that it's still at the early stages of its evolution. So whilst we're experiencing very good growth already, we really do feel the sky's the limit in terms of some of the plans that we've got and the potential for the Emirate in general.
We have weathered the economic recession that the world witnessed in good numbers, and I'm looking forward actually with optimism that in the coming years we can do better.
Many of the people that we spoke with in Ras Al Khaimah mentioned the word relaxed when talking about life here, and there is a nice relaxed feel to the place. But development is happening at a healthy pace, and the economy is evolving along with the times. 5 years from now, the skyline will be almost unrecognizable from what it is today, thanks in part to a steady flow of inward investment. In the meantime, those international investors who've arrived already will continue to soak up the tax and business advantages and the sun. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Ras Al Khaimah. Join us to see where we go next time on location.